it's the vibe, and no, that's it, it's the vibe.
Hello my darlings, and welcome to It's the Vibe, where I read books from the subreddit Books That Feel Like This. I will put the pictures up above that I submitted to Reddit for Reddit users to give me their recommendations. Today we've got hot girls, toxic vibes, and the kind of summer drama that will either kill you or make you iconic. My recommendation, based on the pictures above, would be Silicone Gods by Victoria Brooks. Shay's plan is simple. Quit banging other people's husbands, be a proper queer, and finally christen her strap-on somewhere other than the couch cushions. But then a jealous silicone dominatrix from the future crashes the party and things get tentacly. So the first book that I read for this reading vlog was Softcore by Brittany Newell. In this book, a 27-year-old stripper named Baby goes on a glitter-smeared scavenger hunt through San Francisco's kink scene to find her vanished ex-boyfriend Dino, who is naturally a very sweet cross-dressing drug dealer. Along the way, she juggles dominatrix shifts, bizarre client requests, suicide philosophy anyone? Glass of hot wee-wee anyone?
Bottoms up.
And a co-worker who's basically auditioning to become her evil twin. Between the cryptic notes, the creeping paranoia, and questionable underwear theft, Baby's journey is equal parts mystery, sex dungeon field trip, and existential crisis on pleasers. Pleasers are stripper heels, FYI. I will say that this is a noir-ish scavenger hunt with glitter, thigh-high boots, and more emotional damage than the average detective story. It's hilarious, unhinged, and just a little bit horny. That being said, I will say that the blurb is misleading. It does make it appear that the quest to find her ex is the plot driving the story, but this is a vibes over plot book, girlies. It is more character driven. Don't come here for a plot driven story. It's just not there. You will not be satisfied. If, however, you want to just chill with a 20-something kind of lost sex worker in San Fran, then this is for you. There's a whole lot of aimlessness and loneliness going on, as well as kinks and desires. I loved the writing style. I wish it had had more of a plot. I was very invested in the search for Dino and their reunion, and hopefully the beginning of a part 2 of their love story, second chance. I can't believe I'm saying this. Romance was high on my agenda. But like I said, it went its own way, which is in circles. Like, it was very meandering. I think it could have been cut down. I think a reduction in page count would have enlivened the book a little bit more and made it feel a little more energized and exciting. But like I said, I was happy to luxuriate in the writing. I was happy just to let this go and do whatever it wanted to do or not do. There is look, it is a bit confusing. I have my theories of what was going on and what happened in the end, but I'm not entirely sure. This was very much giving me the vibe of New Animal by Ella Baxter, crossed with Margot's Got Money Troubles. I've forgotten who that's by. I feel like it's an R name. But those two books, if you like those two, you might enjoy this. Like I said, this one is a bit more of a darker version. There is sex in this book, but I don't know. Like, obviously it involves kink, so you'd want to say R rating, but it's not explicit. It's not explicit sex scenes. So I'm going to go with an MA rating for this one in terms of the sex scenes. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I will read anything this author puts out. And fun fact, the author is also a dominatrix. And look, I'm not much of a sub, but maybe I would for this author. That's all I'm saying. So the book, does it suit the vibes of the pictures? Well, I would say that Softcore does have a very raw, erotic, slightly surreal, fever dreamy, sensory charged energy that some of these pictures give off. The two in particular I think suit this book the most are of the tattooed hand and the lush flowers, because it does mirror the book's mix of sexuality, danger, and dreamy grit. It's beautiful and with strangeness and a bit of danger, because, you know, sex work isn't all love and light, my dudes, as you might imagine. The second image I think it suits is the biting into the watermelon. It's matches the book's physicality and appetite. There's hunger, desire, indulgence, but the book does it in a very candid, almost voyeuristic way. It isn't afraid to shine a light on the ugly bits. I think both of these books do work well for the metaphors in softcore. They're intimate, tactile, and a little bit sticky, with both sweetness and risk. The next book I read was The Honeys by Ryan LaSala.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Sorry, there's so many people outside my window right now looking at me. Soldier on, Chanel. Okay, in this book, we have Mars, a teenager who is gender fluid, and they have just lost their sister in the kind of horrific accident that you only hear about in campfire ghost stories. And naturally, they decide that the best way to heal from that is to go to their sister's creepy, ultra-exclusive summer camp for rich kids, bees, and uncomfortably perfect smiles. There, they meet the Honeys. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls who are rather mysterious and who are the keepers of the bees and run their shit like some sort of honey-coated cult. Everyone is suspiciously polite. The mountains are oddly beautiful, and Mars's memories are strangely unreliable and spotty. This book is Mean Girls if Regina George was a beekeeper and possibly a supernatural predator. I listened to the audiobook for this and I thought it was fan-bloody-tastic. So the narrator did a marvelous job, and this had also a lot of sound effects sprinkled in, which really just elevated the experience. You got the buzzing of the bees, the sound of eerie laughter. It was just a real delight, an immersive experience, if you will. The book deals mostly with grief. The opening chapter was full on. It was intense and it sort of gets you reeling and spinning. And I don't know if you ever fully are able to plant your feet by the end of it, which is a lot to do with grief as well. Do you ever really find your footing again, or are you just left with this constant state of vertigo, of feeling like you're falling even though you're standing still? With the main character being gender fluid and a lot of talk about non-binary, I'm not sure if the representation was good or not. I can't tell you as someone who isn't gender fluid or non-binary, so you'll have to make up your own mind about that, whether it's good representation, mid or bad. I'm not quite sure. There was a lot of humor in this. At one point, the boys from the camp called Mars a little bitch, and they said, actually, I'm a huge bitch. Snap, 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 snaps. There were so many of those moments where I'm like, Mars, yes, queen. I will say though that the pacing in this book is incredibly erratic. It was slow and then it was fast. It was all over the place. I think it could have done with a bit of tightening up of the pacing and making a bit less jumpy. I think it could have also been cut down quite a bit too. There were some scenes in there that I felt like, well, this isn't really necessary to anything, and it's slowing the story down. Hashtag a lot of scenes that could have been cut out. I was like, oh, guys, you could have made this real tight and zippy and intense and a wild ride, whereas I'm like, this feels like it's meandering. Okay, let's go back to the story. Oh, now we're going on another sidetrack. I also felt like the Honeys were a bit homogenous. I would have liked a little bit of a distinction between the girls. I don't know if that was done on purpose then to make it, go along with the culty vibe and that they're all the same. But I don't know, I would have liked a bit more distinction, because even in Mean Girls, there is a distinction between the ladies themselves. And I wanted to know more about them. I wanted a bit more time with them. I cared less about the time with the jock dudes. Now, this book is listed as horror. I would say more horror vibes. It's more horror vibes. I wouldn't call it full-on horror, probably a bit more of a thriller aspect, if you will, because Mars is trying to find out what happened to his sister, what caused her to do the things that she did. So that's the mystery that they're trying to solve in going to this camp. And I'll say, when you do sort of find out the reason behind it, there were some aspects of the reason that felt a little bit icky to me, that I think some people who may have had something similar happen to them in terms of the medical component might find an issue with. But this ended up being quite a romp. I thought it was good. I had a good time. I would read more from this author if they did adult stuff, because this is a teenage YA book, and I'm not really that into teen books, but if I was a teen, I probably would have eaten this up and enjoyed it more. Does the book suit the images I provided? Yes, babes, it does. One of the images, you've got the fingers dripping in honey or something else, and it does give off a bit more of a poisonous aesthetic. There's a bit of deadliness in this particular image. It's sweet but dangerous. And then the other image that suits the most is the women frolicking in a field of mushrooms. It really gives off the eerie, surreal summer camp energy. This book also had a fever dream-like element to it, that haziness, that sun-drunk, drowsy vibe. It's a very idyllic, pastoral energy that hides something wrong in the air. There is a buzzing at the back of your brain that I might be in danger here. This might not be a safe place, despite the beauty of it and the generous smiles and laughter that fill the air. I think the pictures do capture the contrast in the honeys between sunlit beauty and creeping dread. It's a pastel horror, the kind that swallows you whole with a smile. Both of these books, though, do prove one thing, that being gorgeous is dangerous. So until next time, stay soft, stay sweet, but maybe skip the honey. The perfume that I'm pairing with this vlog is True Lust Rayon Violet de Seyou by Italie Badrange. And this is less about lust in the conventional sense and more about longing. It's soft and velvety, not traditionally sexy. There's makeup smudged elegance and whispering decadence, like the scent of an antique vanity drawer that once held secrets. The initial image that came to mind upon first sniff to me was of a shopping mall cosmetic counter in the 90s. So it's very nostalgic. It was giving, 90s supermodels, Claudia, Naomi, Evangelina, Christy, all the babes. The book that I would pair with this scent is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. And in this book, you have the Lisbon sisters. There are 5 sisters who are dreamy, beautiful, and mysterious, living in 1970s suburbia. One by one, they die by suicide. And a group of neighborhood boys, now grown, try to piece together the tragedy through fragments, diaries, rumors, and memories. But the truth remains as hazy as their obsession. So today I'm going to end this reading vlog with a trip around town. I'm going to buy some pretty food. I am on my spring quest to find the best matcha in Melbourne, so a pretty drink will be on the list, and maybe some independent bookstores, some pretty books. I know I'm just trying to fill up the aesthetic well till it overfloweth. Do let me know down below which book you would suggest for the images I submitted. Okay, I'm back. So I went to Dua Bakery, which had Lipa Dua. It was very cute. It was a sort of Scandinavian, Asian food inspired bakery. Loved it. Loved the whole vibe. There were so many good sweets. I got a pandan, or forgot the name of it. I'll put pictures in the titles and my rating out of 10 for each of the desserts. that I got, because yeah, I got a lot. Today is my gluten cheat day, I guess. I couldn't not partake. But the matcha, so I got a strawberry malted iced matcha. That's a 9 out of 10. That was really good. We're off to a great start. That was phenomenal. I rated it a 9 because I want to leave space just in case there is something better, but it was pretty darn good. I also bought stuff. So from the independent bookstore, I got Let's Become Fungal, Mycelium Teachings and the Arts by Yasmin Ostendorf Rodriguez. So just a gorgeous book. It's so floppy, guys. It's like the floppiest of flops. But I did a library run too, but I'm going to put that in my mood reading vlog. So I will leave you guys here. Until next time, stay sticky, Star Child.
It's so sticky, but it feels so good.
It's just the vibe of the thing.